welcome to my safe word is more.
Oh, why are we getting such a long intro?
Because this
More
is a
is more?
big deal. Because whoever just heard that is listening to Al Jackson, and they just heard the lovely voice of my incredibly talented co-host, Corinne Kaplan. Corinne, how the hell are you feeling?
Well, you know what? This morning I woke up and had $600 worth of Botox injected into my face.
Ooh.
And then I had my hair dyed to get rid of the grays. So I am feeling slightly younger.
Is this called a self-care day?
No, because I want to say that I don't know who... I'm not the person who likes... if I go get a pedicure, I ask them to skip the massage. Like, I want to be in and fucking out
By
of
the way,
there.
you sound like a creepy dude. Like, just skip the massage.
Straight to the happy
I'm going
ending.
to roll over on my back.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying. And if this is random, but... and I know you don't follow sports in the way most people do.
No.
Sometimes
I follow athletes.
You follow.
Yeah.
I love you so much. He's playing now, but the Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson was suspended for basically the better part of 2 years for getting massages from women that he DM'd on Instagram, saying that he would like a massage. None of them said, as far as I know, that he forced himself on them, because that would have been a different story. But he did still get suspended for 2 years. And I think massages, especially happy ending massages, are this weird, opaque area where I guess it's illegal to... Is it illegal to ask for one?
No, of course not.
Because you can ask anyone. You can ask somebody on the first date for one. They can say no and mace you.
Yeah,
but you can ask.
I have on many dates, especially when I go out with like burly dudes, I'm like, "What's up with your massage skills?" Like I'm actively recruiting. Like that is fine, but I don't need the shitty stranger doing my calf like during the pedicure. It's like a waste of time to me. And so in the case of I guess so to me self-care is like, oh, I drew a bubble bath and I don't know.
See, and I think baths suck.
I think that it's so boring.
I think all self-care is where they're like, oh, we had a great day. We sat in mud for 4 hours. Then we rinsed off as you should. And then you sat in like a sauna. And I'm like, maybe it's how I'm wired. It feels like the biggest waste of time. What are you relaxing from? What are you working in the mines in West Virginia? You working a jackhammer in South Florida on the highway in 90? Why? What's this relaxation? Am I tripping?
So somebody once suggested to me to do float therapy, right? And this is my problem, Al. This is my problem with everything you just mentioned. I don't like to be alone with my own thoughts. That's why I take Ambien every night. I don't want to do it. So I don't need the town hall meeting in my head going off for an hour while I'm in a fucking float tank. Like, it's not relaxing to me at all.
I've never heard that take. I'm not going to say I'm a weirdo and I'm a comic and I'm used to being by myself all the time. So I am used to my own thoughts, which I think is bad for comics. But I do think that you're exactly right. Just sitting there, even if you're relaxed, I'm like, how long do I need to relax? Do I need to be here for an hour? Do I need you to massage my lower back for 20 minutes?
I
don't know.
I had a company that I worked for that mandated that I do this like, it's called like, I'm going to say it's not head. It's head. I'm making it sound real massagey.
Yeah, you are.
But it's like an app for meditation. And they were basically like, we're going to get you a subscription to this. Like, you need to calm down a little bit. And I was like, okay. And so I thought they were checking to see if I'd made it through like successive rounds. And I remember there were like 10 rounds that I had to do. And like the first one's like a minute or 2 minutes. Then it goes to like 3 minutes. And by the time I got to 4 minutes, I was like, my head was going to pop off. I was losing my mind. I've never been more anxious in my entire life.
Which I don't think is the point.
I cannot do this. So, like, I'm alone all the time, but a podcast is playing or something. Like, I'm never in silence. I don't like it.
Interesting.
I play a podcast every day when I get in the shower because I don't want to be alone in the shower with my thoughts.
It's so weird, and it makes sense that we connected because so do I. I always have a podcast going, or I'll have music playing, not necessarily with words. If I want to think about something, like if I'm thinking about the next 3 podcasts I want to do with you, I'll have my music going. I'll get on my bike because that gets my heart going, gets my brain going. And I'll turn on, like one of those YouTube videos, there's like Bike the World where you can just be on any trail. So I would like go to Germany or Korea, going up the side of a mountain. But there's still music. I don't think I would ever be like, I need to figure out what me and Corinne should do next, and then go sit in a chair silently. I think that'd be strange.
When we got eliminated from Amazing Race, we had to be quarantined in this house in Greece, which sounds good. It was not. And in this house in Greece, we are not allowed to have anything, any technology. You cannot have a phone. You cannot watch TV. There's no computers, nothing. So it's real fucking boring to begin with. And if I may, they also didn't give us alcohol. Like, I was smart enough. Eliza and I both had like $40 of what we call leg money left. And that's all we had in the airport when they were transporting us. And so she spent $40 on books, thinking she'd read books in this house. I spent it all on the cheapest possible whiskey that would, like, the most amount of alcohol I could get for $40. And I was like, I will not be sharing this. If you don't spend your money on the alcohol, you don't get the alcohol. You should also buy alcohol. Who needs the books? I'll tell you stories. Get me drunk.
Yeah, what are you, in jail?
Yeah. So
you read when you're in jail. That's the only time.
So I was obsessed with the idea. I had lost a ton of weight to go on race. I mean, not a ton, but like because I wanted to be nimble and faster, I lost like 10 pounds before I went on race. And I was like adamant that we will be working out. And so I made her get up every day and work out with no music. And I swear to God, it is the biggest torture of your life. If you think time moves slowly when you're working out, which most people do, try it with no music. It's awful.
It never crossed my mind to work out. Because sometimes, like, when I would go, if I'm in a different city, I'd be like, let me go find a weight room. I don't necessarily go to a Planet Fitness unless they want to be a sponsor. And I'll just go to, like, sometimes, like, a local
Aim higher. I don't need the free $10 a month pass.
And just all the ones I have gone to, I'm like, it's a lot of purple guys. We got it.
Yeah.
But it's a weird color commitment for a company.
Yeah.
It's a very strange color commitment. And, you know, I'll go to, like, sometimes you will go to a gym where, like, there's the guys that are serious about powerlifting, like dads that sleep in a separate room from their wife and, you know, log on about how masculinity's going on down the tank in the room full of other men. And, you know, you'll go in there and there's no music and you'll just hear, like, the weights,
clank,
the weights laying just, oh
God.
And it's just like, I don't like this.
So in our case, so I do, if anyone is listening and like wants to figure out how to do their own workout, I've been doing this for many years. I do Tabata style. And so I alternate between cardio and then like whichever muscle group I'm working. So let's say it's arm day, like it'll be, okay, run in place. I mean, now I have machines in Planet Fitness, but in the case of Eliza and I'd be like, all right, we're going to run in place. So it's 20 seconds on, 8 seconds off for 8 rounds, which equals 4 minutes. In the cardio one, so you're going to run in place for 20 seconds as fast as you can. Then you're going to stop for 8, then 20, then stop for 8. Okay. Then you'll go to biceps. Then you'll go. So I'm making her use a timer because we had timers on our watches. We had non-sophisticated watches that we were allowed to have.
Wow.
And so so all you hear is boop. All right. It's been 8 seconds. Boop. All right. 20 seconds. I mean, this is so bad. And
how long did this go on?
For like 10 days. It was so bad. So when quarantine happened, like a year later, she was like, well, I mean, obviously, at least we have music. Because I did that all through quarantine, the same Tabata shit that I was doing.
I never asked. And just sitting across from you, I feel negligent in asking, how does somebody with a personality like yours get through quarantine?
Oh, I thrived. Because I moved here and I didn't really know very many people. I didn't have like a huge source of friends. You know, like I moved here not knowing a single person. And so I felt like so distant from my friends in LA. But when they were all stuck, so now Zoom happy hours every night. And I would get dressed to the nines. I would put fake lashes on. I'd wear my dress from the Emmys. And then I would show up for cocktail hour with my other friends. Like I had such a good time. Yeah.
I think a lot of people, it's like this weird thing where it was either the worst time of your life where you lost 4 family members, or you're like, now my job doesn't make me come into work anymore, and I met my boyfriend online and we fell in love before we actually met, and my life is better. It's just, I think a lot of people, and I'm not disregarding any of the loss and financial loss.
No, it's horrendous. And like, obviously, if anyone in my family died or if I got, you know, and I did get COVID and I did get very, very sick, but other than that part, you know, the pandemic, the reason we were in quarantine, I loved it. I think a lot of people used it like I did as almost like a halftime for your life. Where you think about like our parents, they graduated at 17, either went straight to the Army, which was probably a war, like at 17, or you got a job at GM for 35 years. You got married to the girl that had the locker next to yours. Y'all held it down. You had a mortgage at 19. And, like, you just went through your life. It's a treadmill.
And then that was just it. Whereas I feel like people like you and me and I feel like that's why the service industry took a big hit. If you've ever been a waiter or bartender, that's such fast money. You can get caught in that life, and then you look up and you're like,
yes.
I'm a 41-year-old bartender, and this was not the plan. No disrespect to 41-year-old bartenders, but, some people want to make a change. And I feel like this 2 years was like, do you like who you're with? Mm-hmm. Do you like your job? Mm-hmm. Do you like where you live? Are you happy right now? Yeah. And, like, just that quiet, I think a lot of people are like, I'm just going to fix all of this, stop talking to people I shouldn't have been talking to. Which is a good way to distance the randos.
It was, I loved getting out of social obligations I needed, like weddings that I was supposed to go to. Yes. Like, that was fantastic. I really loved that aspect of it. The worst part to me about quarantine was the working out part. So I can't not work out just for, like, mental health. Like, I've never been on an antidepressant or any kind of mental health aid, I guess. Ambien, but, like, nothing else. And I have to say that if I couldn't work out, like, that's my biggest fear. Like, my friend Richard, I'm going skiing with him for Christmas and New Year's, and I'm paranoid because God help me if I get injured. Like, I don't know what I will do.
In skiing, you can get injured.
Well, I've already briefed him. We will be doing greens only. We'll have an instructor. Like,
okay.
But, like, yeah,
my co-host Sam broke her leg on the first. She jumped off the.
Well, was she jumping off of shit?
Not
for?
the jump, but the little lift
the ski
thing.
lift? Oh, I got a concussion on the ski lift.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Can we hear that?
Yeah. So the first time when I moved to Denver and I didn't know anybody, I made friends with a neighbor who invited me to his 30th birthday, and I, at the time, I was the Statue of Liberty. Give me, you're tired, you're poor. Like, I was like, anybody come here. I just need friends. I need somebody to drink with. So he lived in my building. He was fun. He's putting together this birthday, and he's like, we're going to, I'm forgetting now, Breckenridge. I think it was Breck. He's like, we're going to Breck. That's what it was. We're going to Breck, and I had, at that point, like, never been except for with my family when I was a kid. So he's like, I'm putting together this group. I was like, say less. I am in. Yeah. And so he starts telling me the amount of people, and I was like, that's too many people. I said, how much? I'll pay double what everyone else is paying. I need a bed. And he's like, okay, like, yeah, if you want to pay double. I was like, I'll triple, whatever it is, I'm not sharing a bed. That's not a thing I'm going to do.
Wait, you need to back all the way up.
Yeah, I'm going to get to this.
Okay.
So, all right. So I get to, he creates a Facebook group. And in my life, I have never, ever gone into a Facebook group invitation. You invite me or you don't invite me. I'm not getting invited via Facebook. Which, funny enough, the other day, quick side note, the other day, I have a friend that he's started a company, ketamine-assisted therapy for depression. And he was having a physician do a talk on Facebook. And so I clicked interested. Like, it's like an event on Facebook, and I click interested. Al, if I tell you, my mom, my aunt, are you okay? Is everything okay? Are you depressed? I'm like, I'm just interested in the science behind ketamine. Why is it everyone's business? Like, I didn't realize when you click something on Facebook that it services that information out. So, like, now I definitely will not be saying I'm going to anything. But in any case, I never look at the Facebook page. And I haven't told this story in so long, I feel like I'm going to forget all the high points. But basically, I don't look at the Facebook page. And I see him the night before we're going down. And he said, okay, did you get everything that you need? Do you have soap? Do you have a toothbrush? And I was like, what the fuck? I travel for a living. And so I thought, and then I see that he's got like all these boxes of macaroni and cheese. And I was like, I don't know what's happening here. Like, my thoughts were that Breckenridge is fancy.
Yeah.
So I go to this Facebook group because now I'm concerned. And there's a menu. And the menu items are what you were served in 5th grade in a lunchroom. Like, it is. One night is like beefaroni.
I'm out. I'm so out.
Wait. The list of things you gotta, it was like literally the first thing on there was soap. If you have to tell 30-ish year-old people that they need to remember to bring soap to the house, like, I was like, this is bad. Anyways, when I get there, I do have my own bed. However, what he failed to mention is that there's an air mattress to the left and right of the bed. So if I have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, I'm stepping on a human being. I'm surrounded by bodies. Yes, I have a bed, but I am literally surrounded by bodies on the floor.
Can I just tell you really quickly, one of the issues that I have that I don't know if it's like, not a phobia, that's way too hard of a word, but I don't like to hear people snore or sleep.
No!
Especially randos. So, I try and go to bed first, but it's so weird to me to be sleeping in a room with somebody. It's super, I can't put my finger on it. So that's a bigger deal to me than you know. It's
horrible. So I'm like, you know what? I will just Ambien myself through this. Like, I'll get through this. So okay, so they had somebody come to the house to fit us for our skis, and then they're like, okay, we're going to go ski Copper Mountain. It's about 40 minutes from here. And I was like, why are we doing that? We're staying in Breckenridge. They were like, well, Breckenridge is really expensive. And I'm like, oh my God, we're going to commute with all our shit. So we go. And so me and this other guy are the only like non-skiers there. So like you get him all day. Like we're all going to go do like diamonds or whatever. And so I'm like, okay. So me and this guy, I forget his name now, but he was very nice. He was this Egyptian guy. Me and him are stuck with each other. And so we take a separate car for this 40-minute drive. We get there, and you have to take all of your, we didn't have a lift pass, so we have to wait in line for that. And so, like, we get out of the car, we take our skis, our poles, we go stand in line, and he realizes he didn't take his poles. Now he has to take the shuttle back to the car because it's a shuttle situation, back and forth, and it's like a 2-hour wait to get this fucking pass, which I guess we should have done online. Finally, we're ready to ski, and I'm like, I said to him, I was like, you have to, the only thing I know is like pie. Make the triangle with your shoes. Okay? Triangle, pie. Because no, he doesn't have any lessons at all. Like, he has no idea what he's doing. And I'm the person teaching him, and I don't know what I'm doing.
All I know is pie.
Yeah. So we start edging up. And the lift, they give you no instructions. There's just a bunch of people that are super high that work at the resort that are like, next. And like, they're merging 2 lanes of people. So it's me and him. They're merging us with 2 other people. He doesn't know how to stop. He just learned pie. So he like pies out. And my ski gets caught on his, and I go down. And then I lift my head up, and the lift hits me in the back of the head, clocks me out. Yeah. And like my mittens over here, my skis over here. Yeah. And I get up, and I was like, I threw up a little. I was like, I'm fucking.
Oh, that's a bad concussion
and
when you throw up.
Then they make me, because they had to stop the lift. Then they like put me back together real quick and throw me on the lift. Now I'm at the top of the mountain with a full-blown concussion. And I'm just like, I don't want to be here. And he's like, I don't understand how to ski. And so he goes down in pie the entire time. And when we get to the bottom, he ended up throwing up too. And when we get to the bottom, he's like, I just had knee surgery. Like, and like holding your position like that is horrible. And so the 2 of us were like, fuck, I don't care what this costs. Like, I'm done. Get me back in this fucking shuttle. We get in the shuttle, and the driver, who had now seen us like 4 times because we kept going back, he goes, done already? I was like, I never want to see this mountain again. Yeah, it was a horrible ski trip. No. I don't even know what got me on that tangent, but it was...
it was a beautiful tangent, and it's just like...
Quite...
Listening to that story, you just summed up my whole life. It's like, I don't want to do... This is not fun. All the stuff that, like, is sold to you is like, this is fun. Shut up. We're going camping. It's fun. Shut up. And I know a lot of people camp, but it's like, I don't want to... Yeah, you got to take... This is the box you poop in. You take this. I'm not taking that anywhere.
Listen,
I'm going to be in my crib.
I will die on this cross. If there's too many accoutrements, I ain't about it. Skiing has too much shit that I have to bring. There's a helmet, there's the goggles, there's a fucking turtleneck thingy. Like, it's everything. It's too much.
It's like you're a hockey mom.
Yeah.
Where you're taking equipment and like, Dylan's got a tournament at 8.
It's also, pizza and French fries, Kelly says. What was like? Pie.
The French fries. I heard pizza too. You were saying pie. I got it. But the French fries
is
to
how
go
good
straight.
I am.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, man. Like I have long been a very big enemy of anything that requires me to take Jesus.
What is happening over there? Our producer Kelly is apparently doing the reenactment of Rent over there. Get a trash can lid. Okay.
That's a very good reference.
Thank you. What the hell was that? That was so weird. This is random, but just Kelly doing that made me think about, Kels went with me for, I was emceeing for this charity, and I would say 40 minutes into it, doing well. I think we'd already asked for the money to come, to donate. And all of a sudden, there was a dude that was connected to the person that was doing the event, and he just started dangling his keys, like loudly, like if you're trying to reenact like reindeer coming. And I was just like, what are you doing? What? And I looked at, I was like, is that the organizer's husband doing? What are you doing? And he was like almost like his hand wasn't, he was like, oh, I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
There was no reason for it. He just started just like Kelly, just kicking shit.
No.
There we go. And he did it. It's like, why can't you say things that happened? I don't understand this
You can.
weird. Yeah, it's like this. Like, don't. That's not. It's like it was a funny thing. I didn't say he yelled a racial slur. He just started dangling his keys for. And people, I do like the randomness of people. That's why I love you so much. Like, you have random stories. Everybody is trying to have the same experience. Like, where'd you go to relax? I went to Tulum, like everybody else did. It's like, dude, go do some different stuff. Not with you with accoutrements, but like I'm down with people just being like, hey, I get super naked on Saturdays. I take mushrooms and then I roll in paint and that's my artwork.
Yeah.
That's not for me.
Yeah.
But it does
cool.
it for you. Yeah. It's like, find what you really like to do instead of these things that like people have been told, it's a massage. You're like, I don't like that. I love that about you.
I have to tell you that the camping thing, I had a good friend that was like, I've done Survivor twice and The Amazing Race, which means you can hang out with me in the wilderness and I won't bitch about it. Like, I understand that I'm going to live. You'll never, in the entire time you ever know me, you will never hear me say the words I'm hungry, ever. It's not interesting to someone else to hear that. It's not anyone's business if you're hungry. Like, and you learn that the most annoying thing in the world on Survivor is that people like keep saying they're hungry. Yeah, we're all fucking hungry. It's day 19. I haven't eaten anything.
Oh my goodness.
So anyways, so my friend Kelsey's like, she did this lottery to win these tickets to this very famous, I'm going to screw this up, but like, it's like a 3-day camping situation, hiking, camping, outside of Aspen. She's like, do you want to come? And I was like, yeah. I got a backpack from Amazing Race, and she's like, all right, well, so we need, and I'm not listening to anything she's saying. So the night before we're supposed to go, she's like, all right, like, let me see what you've packed. And I was like, all right. So I had like 10 Zone bars in my bag, and like, that's it. And like, there was like one pair of underwear. I mean, just like the bare minimum. And she's like, you cannot go with that. She goes, first of all, you need a bear container.
Bear spray?
No, like your food goes in a container so bears don't smell it. And I was like, they can smell the Zone bar through that. And she goes, and what do you think? You're just going to eat Zone bars for 3 days? I said, well, yeah, she's bringing things to cook with, which I thought was outrageous. I ended up bailing on the trip.
Good.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Good for you.
I was like, this is so much pomp and circumstance that like I cannot be bothered.
Yeah, I don't want to be fighting for my life on vacation.
No,
I don't like that. Everybody's, we're going to go swordfish hunting. Now, sometimes, they will poke you, but no. Mm-hmm. They're not going to get me because I'll be in the lobby. Yeah. The nice marble lobby that I paid all the money for. I'm not going to the... First of all, I'm sorry. I'm going to lose a lot of people here. I don't care. The beach is dumb. All right, sand is just dirt that overachieved. Mm-hmm. That's all it is. It's where dirt meets water. That's fine. I don't know what you do there. You lay down. Wow, this water's really great. This ocean makes me feel small. And yeah, you are. It's like you're a pebble of sand. You are. Okay, we got it. Move on, Thoreau. I don't want to hear it.
I can get the full experience in 15 minutes.
Yes.
Why would I spend all day? This is funny because this just happened. I went to Italy. I went to Italy with 2 of my girlfriends, and I did not discuss this beforehand. One of them was my Amazing Race partner, but I didn't ask them beforehand, what would we be doing? And they had intended on laying on the beach all day. And that is my nightmare. First of all, I wear SPF 80. I had $600 of Botox this morning. My ass is not in the sun for any reason at all, ever, period. And so they were all excited. And mind you, Eliza's done Survivor. I lived on a beach. Slept on the fucking beach for 22 nights. I'm good on
There's
beach.
a lot of homeless people that don't like the beach.
Yeah,
they're done this. Yeah.
So we end up going to the most expensive place in Sardinia, which I asked no questions. This is my problem. I don't like to pre-plan anything. I hope the other person is doing that. I won't. This is my problem. This is why I ended up on that ski trip. I don't ask questions. I ask you, how much money do I need to give you? Great. That's the end of the, I'm not going to be I'm gluten-free. I hope you have. No. I will deal with whatever you throw at me. I don't want to plan. But their plan was to go to these, just from one beach to the next. And I love both of them dearly. And I had a blast. But when we went to the beach, I was losing my fucking mind. So it's the most expensive place. The beach is all rocks. So it's going to lay out on gravel. So you have to buy a chair and an umbrella. And that, my friend, is $110 a person. Okay? And the cab to get there, because there are no Ubers, $80 each way for 10 minutes. You're in for over $200 to sit on a beach. And Eliza loves the beach, and she's like, oh my God, isn't this magical? And I am just hemorrhaging money. And I'm like, no, it is not. I don't like this.
I don't get... Look, here are the only beaches I understand. And it's not my cup of tea, but you've been in Jamaica, I'm sure, a bunch of times.
Oh, yeah.
doing a couple shows down there, I realized, there's that section of the hotel that's always like adults only. And I was like, what is this? And there's a huge nude beach over there. And then I like started doing my little, CSI math. I was like, oh, everybody down in Jamaica is swinging.
Yes.
Like there's a ton of swingers down there. And, I talk about it on stage. And I'm like, it's always like your nerdy parents, neighbors that are like both math teachers. And they're like, we go to Jamaica every year. It's like, well, why? Why Jamaica? Oh, we like the beach. Why do you like the beach? There's beaches in Long Beach. There's beaches in North Carolina.
Yeah.
There's beaches in New York City.
Not
there are
beaches where you can stick it in somebody else's wife.
Well, yes. Why are you going down to Jamaica when you live in Green Bay?
Yes.
I think we all know why, buddy. So, like, it's like that I get. If you're going because, you are sexually open when you're in the islands, and then when you come back, you're instantly regressive and judgmental and vote against your own interests. Yeah. I get that. But I don't understand, like, just going to the beach to read. Backyard, rooftop, your bed.
Anywhere.
Why are we outside? I don't like outside.
Where I'm close to a bathroom I could use if I need to. Like, where, I can snack. Yeah.
And we may lose some people with this, and and I'm glad. Because some people are like, oh my God, you're a little highfalutin. You don't like being outside. It's like, why is it like crazy that I don't want to rough it? I understand there'll be times you have to. Car stuck on the side of the road when you're in Montana. Hey, now it's time for some backpacking. But why am I taking my 1 week a year off to rappel off the side of a mountain and scare myself? Kelly held up a picture surfing. Yeah, if you're a hot surfer, I'm a 45-year-old black man. I'll look like a Make-A-Wish. Like he must have stopped treatment.
This is the end.
he's going for a hot air balloon right after this. So what is your ideal vacation?
Well, first, someone else is paying.
Okay. That's part of it.
That hasn't happened in a very long time. I'm not averse to, I like going to third world countries. I like doing cool shit. I like a lot of animal encounter things. So like I've spent time in Africa, but I haven't done like a full African safari. I would love to do that. But like glamping, Yeah. I have been on many vacations, which you'll find out about me if you don't know. I've gone on second dates to other countries on like multiple occasions. It's my jammy jam.
There you go.
Yeah. It's never worked out. Ever.
I could see it being a problem. Because a dude that would do that, there's something going on.
Well, also, to sign up to be with somebody for 2 weeks after you've only met them one time is just a terrible idea.
Unless you're on a reality show. Do you remember Shipmates?
No.
Chris Hardwick.
Oh, I know who that is.
Used to host this show called Shipmates. It was on, I was on Blind Date. Uh-huh. But it was probably the precursor to Blind Date. And it was the best show of all time because, again, the reason I love the show Love After Lockup and really no other reality show.
It's locked down.
It's not only is locked down the people, you need crazy people to really make it go.
Oh, yes, of course.
And Love After Lockup are people that just get out of jail, so they're not trying to be famous. People on 90 Day Fiancé, I love the show, but they know that they can have a career post this. So they're like, I don't want to be too mean. I don't want to say this. Love After Lockup and Shipmates, where they would just take it was like Blind Date, but on a Carnival cruise.
Oh, God.
So if your date started going bad hour one.
Switch out?
No. Oh. Y'all just on the boat, and that tension would just build. And then day 2, they made them do event, and so by day 3, the fights at dinner. Yeah. I mean, it was craziness.
Yeah, this is in the trip I went on to, I tell this story a million times. This is actually when I randomly, did I tell you this, that I got real yipped up on Ambien and joined a Facebook group for open micers and then messaged the MC for an open mic, and I was like, demanding stage time because I was on Survivor, and he was like, okay, yeah, like we usually like book this in advance, but like we'll make an exception. So I get there, and he's like, okay, so you have a tight 5? I was like, I have 15. And he's like, well, you get 5. It's an open mic. I was like, I'm getting 15. So, anywho, I told the whole story. I have the recording of it. So I did stand up with no prep time at all because, I'm sorry, I'm ruining the story. This happened Sunday night. On Monday, I get a confirmation message in Facebook Messenger from this guy, and I'm like, what is this guy talking about? And then I read the messages that I wrote, and I was like, no, why did Ambien Corinne do this? And the thing was...
Wait, how's the grammar?
Not good. It was like at 1:24 a.m. I'm like, hello, sir. I am Corinne from Survivor, and I would like stage time, obviously. So anyways, I only had 24 hours to prepare. The show was on Tuesday. And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to tell a story because I love telling stories. And this is like a story that I've told a bunch of times. But basically, it was a second date to Europe where he let me pick the 3 countries. And on like the second night we're there, he said, I love you. And I mean, I couldn't have liked him less. It was so uncomfortable and awful. And I go through like the whole story in the stand-up act. But in any case, yeah, as a non-comic that's
Wait, so how did the set go?
Oh, I murdered. So I get there. Okay, so the best is open mics are, they're all piece of shits anyway. And nobody has any talent. And so I get there, and it's like, when I arrived, he was like, I also demanded, I go to bed early, I'd like to middle. That's where I'm comfortable. And so, mind you, this is ludicrous. I was on a reality TV show. That doesn't mean I can do stand-up. There's no reason this guy should have been like open to this, but he was so nice. And so he's like, okay. And so when I told him I had 15 minutes, he's like, you don't have 15, you have 5. I was like, no, I have 15. And so he's like, I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Can we put you at the end? Because like, that's the only place we can. And I was like, I guess. So I wait till the end. And as I'm watching these acts go up, I mean, look, more power to anyone that has the balls to get up and do anything. But these people were some of them were really bad. And I was already flying high on the wings of fucking reality TV success. I already thought I was going to be the best person. But when I watched other people go up, one guy starts to tell a joke and he goes, I'm sorry, can I do that again? And I'm like, oh. So I am now giddy. I bring one friend with me to record it. I don't tell anyone I'm doing this. And so I am giddy with excitement. I was like, I'm going to fucking murder. And so I get up there and I legitimately murdered. Like you can hear the audience it's a fucking brewery where half the people are talking to other people, but right. I did a really good job. Like I really killed it.
Never thought about doing it again?
Actually, what I thought after that is I really love telling stories. I hated that I told a story and like the waitress is asking who needs a drink over here. And like not everyone is entirely paying attention. Like it's the nature of this. It wasn't a comedy club. It was a brewery basically.
Right.
So like I thought, and while I had, really like rousing applause, like people were like really into it. However, there wasn't, was it 40 people? I'd rather tell my story on a podcast and service that out. Like that's what made me want to come back to podcasting.
Oh, okay. Wow. Well, maybe you could do some stand up on the road when we do a couple live events. People want to come out and see it, and you just open up the show with 15 minutes of stand up. Mm-hmm. Because I tell 15, a lot of stuff. 15,
like full.
I don't think. Look, I am somebody who put his paid for his kids' lives with stand-up. Mm. And everything that you did is probably, if you were crossing off of the 10 commandments of comedy, you got like 4. Like first, weird email in the middle of the night, addressing somebody and then demands about where you go.
I might as well have sent him a rider.
Honestly, but it's so weird when you have that confidence, which you just have in buckets. You make people go, well, maybe she should, maybe I don't, because no one wants to be like, you're the guy that turned down Corinne when she was going to do her stand-up. So everybody's like, I'll just let her go. Yeah. And it worked.
And at the end, he came over to me and he goes, just so you know, you can ask me anytime. We'll give you 15 minutes anytime, and you can consider everyone else your opening act. And I was like, thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like high-fiving a million angels. But I walked out and I was like, I'm good now. I don't need to do this again. Like, I peaked. Let's go back to podcasting where I'm comfortable.
That's, you know what, though? That story it's so happy and it makes me happy. But it's a terrible lesson for kids, because if that's in a storybook, they'll be like, and she bombed because she was a bad person and she skipped the line. It's like, nope, I skipped everybody. I killed and I walked away and threw my gloves over my shoulder. And it's like, that's how life is. Stop trying to be nice all the time, y'all. Mm-hmm. Everything that everybody ever taught you is a lie. Everything. The biggest thing to do to become an adult is straight up forget everything that you were told. Mm-hmm. Because everybody's like, yeah, the good guy wins and be fair in business. I'm just like that because I can't. My own conscience won't let me cheat people. But cheaters are the only people that make money. Bernie Madoff didn't do too bad. Caught him, 4 years before he died?
Yeah.
He stole everybody. What was his... they only get the people that try and kind of cheat. That's when they get the people and light them up. Just go all the way.
Well, my father's very ethical. My mom... questionable. For example, when they were visiting me, they fly Southwest, and my mother sets an alarm to check in the 24 hours in advance so she can get like A or B boarding groups. Well, she somehow fucks this up, and she says to my father, she's like, oh, you're gonna be really mad. I've set the alarm for today instead of yesterday. We're like C40, and my father is not thrilled. But he's like, okay, like, well, there's nothing we can do. And they look to buy the business select. There's only 15. They're gone. It's a sold out flight. My mother goes, well, I'm going to have to do what I have to do. And my father's like, what are you talking about, Dale? And she goes, well, I'm going to tell them that I'm handicapped and I'm going to have to board first. And so I'm going to have to tell them. And my father is like, I will not board with you. You can sit by yourself. And so she told them that something was wrong. And my father sat in the middle seat with a sandwich my mom packed for him by himself. Well, not by himself, with 2 strangers. My mother was like, well, you do you. You got to have a conscience. I got to have a fucking aisle seat.
Look, I cannot co-sign that, but I respect it.
Oh,
and I'm
nor
like,
can I, but...
again,
well,
do the results speak for themselves? Because your mom was aggressive about what she wanted, and she got it, and nobody is going to listen to you like, excuse me, sir, ma'am. I'm not saying jump over the counter and get your aisle seat, but if you got to do what you got to do, fine. And you do get risk called out. I've seen people called out, like, they were like, sir, what's your, and he's like, oh, because there's a lot of people who's like, oh, I thought I boarded, I have a bad knee. And they're like, no, you need that paperwork. You don't, but they just, when they think you're bullshitting, they'll be like, where's your paperwork?
My mother originally said, she goes, I'm just going to get in line like I'm an A person. She goes, people do that all the time. I see them do it all the time. I go, Mom, I used to fly Southwest religiously. I've never seen anyone do that. Everyone is very gracious. Like, no one does that. She goes, people do it all the time. Then they hide their ticket, and when you ask them what seat number they are, they don't tell you. I was like, nobody asks each other that. I don't know why you're asking that. That sounds accusatory. I probably wouldn't tell you either. So she originally was going to do that, but it was too high risk for her.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to say about that, and the reason I bring it up, is that I had parents that were like, life isn't fair. The squeaky wheel gets the oil. I had like hardcore New York Jewish parents that did not parent me like, you know, just be nice to everyone and everyone be nice to you.
Right.
They didn't do that.
Everything that people tell you is wrong. Like, look, think about, like, even though you don't know anything about politics, there would be politicians that they would get air quotes canceled, or they wouldn't be credible because, you know, they were caught peeing, you know, without turning their mic off, and they were in the bathroom like, so embarrassing. This guy's not real, or this guy messed up what shit he was in. And everybody's like, Trump can't win. He says this. Trump can't win. He can't. He said grab by the. Oh, he's done, and it never ended.
Nope.
And it's like, so where are all your laws? Where are all your like justice? It's like it's not. It wasn't real. These are fake rules. And when somebody broke them, no one had any. So they were like, I guess you're the president. And that's what it is. And I guess your mom got that aisle seat. Hey, listen, it's not the story I want to tell my kids, but that's what I tell my kids.
Yeah.
You trying to be pleasant and, like, especially as a woman, you're going to be right there in the back, black dude. If I don't speak up for myself, because, you know, I'm at hotels, they try and play me. We have 2 twin queen beds ready. I'm like, well, where's the king that I ordered? Where's the suite that I'm supposed to be in? What do you think? My brother got drafted and I'm just happy to be here? Get out of here, bro. Went to grad school, baby. Speaking about grad school, speaking about writing, I did some writing for you, Corinne.
You did?
And it's in the form of a Yelp review.
Yes.
I post, I have to give credit to this beautiful lady right next to me because you got me into my Yelp reviews. I think whatever my equivalent of Ambien Corinne is usually when I write these. This was in my notes. When I was looking up our show rundown, I found this Yelp review that I do not remember writing.
Nice.
But I posted it. I cut and pasted. I did not clean it up, and I am going to read it. I read through once, but this is a positive one. There's a bad one coming.
Okay, I'm ready for both. Let's do it.
Yeah, the bad one is, it's gonna be bad. All right, this is about Thai curry here in beautiful Denver, Colorado. You can find them on 6th Ave off Calumet. My favorite Thai place, and this is, I was so inspired when I wrote this, Corinne. I hope you feel my love.
Before you start, I just want to say that, like, sometimes I do Yelp review often, and I will Yelp review usually like big ticket things, like carpet cleaners, like you did the dentist. The idea that I got curry somewhere and then like decided to take the time to review, this must have been life-changing curry.
Life-changing curry. Let's begin. Friends, I feel like as I've grown older, I realized another F word that we've overused is friendship. You've got 2,500 friends on social media combined if you're doing it right. You got friends at happy hour that you watch the game with as individuals deal with your own tiny private alcoholism.
I can't wait till this gets into the curry. I mean, this is quite the lead-in.
What these examples have in common is that none of these people are your real friends. Your real friend, 1, helps you move in the winter and doesn't hold it over your head. 2, takes you to the airport during rush hour. 3, your real friend has a voicemail that can get you fired. 4, your real friend will take you out of a party that they were having fun at before you embarrass yourself permanently. That's a friend.
We haven't talked curry yet, and we're a paragraph in. And also, I just want to say that I will never drive you to the airport nor help you move. Yes. These are 2 things I don't do.
Respect. Okay. Honesty. That's part of it, too. The real friend, the real thing that I'm saying about friends, consistency. Consistency is key.
Here we go.
And that leads me to Thai curry on 6th Avenue.
Unbelievable.
The staff is friendly and engaging, and I've talked with them for years. The food is what we all, in our best moments, aspire to be. Consistent. People say consistency is boring. Consistency is boring until it's time to go to the airport, until it's time to get this couch into a 4th-floor walk-up. Ain't so boring now, is it, Mr. Never Heard of TaskRabbit? I digress. Consistency is paramount with Thai food. The respect that must be given to Thai food and its great history on this planet is at risk. Every time that a Thai restaurant sends out a dish that isn't true to this incredible cuisine. Thai curry on 6 seeks out that challenge every time, like a Russian bot towards a comment thread in which BLM or women's rights appear.
Wait, I really wish that we could post it and then when they read this, there's no way anyone would read this and be like, this person is sober. Like, this person is.
I was sober. Yeah. The food is so good, it makes me want to do better. The red curry makes me consistently wonder, am I living up to my potential? It tastes like a great decision you made with every bite. Decisions save our future. Sometimes decisions we made years before and we don't even realize that it affected our present situation. The decision I made to not order fast food and or cook for myself was a great one. Because
wait, hold on. The hallmark of your Yelp reviews is I think it's over. Like you've ended it on a high note. Applause. No.
I don't remember writing of this or all of this. The decision to not cook for myself was a great one because I brought it into my life, like my love of hip hop or something else I probably did good. Unknowingly, what I did is find an incredible restaurant that represents my core values. It's simple but so difficult, like not clicking on a video titled "Gender Reveal Fail."
This is so incredibly in-depth.
So do yourself a favor.
Oh my God, it's not over.
And get some Thai curry. And go figure out how you can be the Thai curry of your friend group.
The Thai curry of your friend group.
And that's it.
I'm blown away.
I think that we all need to figure out how we can be a little bit better. Because I talked to the homie in there, and he was like the same old Asian dude that runs it, comes in every day and cooks, so it's consistent. And he's like, the dude's fine financially. You know, I think they're about to open a second location. He could give it to a younger chef who's going to come in high and like not be serious. Every day, this old dude's in there making your Thai food.
How recently have you been there? Is he still alive? Because I feel like the consistency might change shortly.
You can always tell at a bar. Like when they're like, this bar's got good wings, and you go and you're like, oh my God. Like you can tell bars change cooks a lot. I was there probably 2 weeks ago, maybe a week ago.
Can I, you just made me think of something that I have been dying to tell you.
Yes.
This reminds me of. Okay, there was a pizza place right below me, and it was like one of the better pizza places in the entire Denver area. And as a rule, same thing when I lived in New York and I lived above a pizza place, I will not touch the pizza because I can't know what it tastes like because I'll get high on Ambien and go down there and buy a pie. So I've never had the pizza. I don't know from the pizza. Well, the pizza place goes under. And a bunch of people told me one of the reasons it went under is because the owner got this like little bimbo girlfriend, and she was like, open a second location. And when he did, this one slipped. And like the service was shit. They started serving like Tempe buffalo wings, like vegan buffalo wings. Like they just started doing some weird shit. And they lost a ton of clientele and they went under. It's been 6 months. We now see a white notice that's like public notice of the new place that's moving in. Okay? This is real.
I'm fascinated.
All right? The place this is how it's spelled. You tell me how it's pronounced, maybe? Kike tacos. I'm concerned that I am a Jew living above Kike tacos. Yeah. And I feel like that's a way to call out a Jewish lesbian. Like, Kike tacos, ladies and gentlemen. That's what's going up with huge signage directly below my apartment.
I have seen that on Postmates, and I looked and I was like,
Who named this?
I don't know, but it's so close. You would think that somebody would be like, let's just go with another name, because I wouldn't feel comfortable saying it on the phone or like.
Well, my gay neighbor's like, maybe it's Kike, and I'm like, well, then use an accent mark or something.
Yeah, there's she's not being facetious. I've seen this, and I specifically didn't order there because I don't even want that on any Chase receipts or anything. Like, what websites are you logging on to for $24.95?
Yeah.
Like, it was a pizza. Yeah, right, buddy.
I can't wait to spend Passover there.
Yeah, it's very strange. I don't know why they did that, but maybe we'll figure out on another podcast because we're wrapping up now. Because we can't give the people all of our stuff.
Okay.
Give some of it. It's been like 40 minutes of pleasant chat between two friends. I wouldn't even say two friends. Between all of us. I, Al Jackson, appreciate you guys being here. You can find me, as always, on Twitter, @Al Jackson, on Instagram, @AlJacksonIG. And you can also check me on YouTube at Al Jackson Comedy. But the real star of the show, I want to know where my girl Corinne Kaplan.
You mean the real stand-up comedian?
Yes, you killed. You've never bombed before. I can't say that.
Right. I mean, I've definitely bombed on dates before, but not in front of a crowd yet. You can find me at Corinne Sanity on Twitter and Instagram, and at Corinne Kaplan on TikTok. I love recording with you, and I love sharing our stories. So thank you.
All right, I feel like you're about to tell me that you're dying. Are you okay?
Oh, I'm okay.
Okay.
Is my face frozen yet?
No, that was just very heartfelt. And like when somebody says something emotional and honest, which I try and live my life, I really appreciate. I want to acknowledge that. I love you too. This is better than I could have ever imagined. And you guys are super dope. We appreciate you listening. Puff of smoke. We're out.
Bye, guys.